It's Saturday morning, about 7:40. I've been up for the last hour and a half reading. I read every morning. I get up about, what time I get up? I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning. Get dressed, and then I read for about 45, 50 minutes. That's how I get my day started, and pretty much stay on a good path to enlightenment. So today, which is what I've been doing now for about 30 days, and there are different lengths of time, when people say, well, it takes about 30 days to create a new habit, 60 days to create a new habit, 100 days, 300 days, 5 years to create a new habit. I believe you create a new habit once. You don't have to make yourself do it, and it's a natural progression. That's when you have a habit. This morning I woke up and I wanted to just kind of like, man, it's Saturday, I want to just chill. But one of the first things that came to my mind was, you know what you got to do, so go ahead. And I didn't have to drag myself and be like, I gotta go. It was, all right, go down here and read. And I've been reading John C. Maxwell. Another thing, I said I read 45 minutes in the morning to start my day. I also read throughout my day, and I read about 45, 50 minutes before I go to sleep. So last night, my bedtime is around 10 o'clock. Last night, we watched Avengers Age of Ultron. As soon as it was over with, went and took a shower, got my little baby boy, was laying in the bed, and I was reading John C. Maxwell's Laws of Growth. And this morning I got up and started reading John Maxwell's Today Matters. I've been reading them all week simultaneously. I usually read about 6-7 books, maybe 10 books at one time. It's kind of how my brain works. I am ADD, so therefore my mind can jump around quite freely. But anyway, while I was reading today, which is basically one of the reasons why I'm making this video, is when I was reading John C. Maxwell's Today Matters, he talked about a story that I had already known about. And it was, I had heard it through Zig Ziglar first. And the story is a gentleman by the name of Ivy Lee was asked to visit Charles Schwab. These were two businessmen at the turn of the century, 19th century, who were very successful in their fields. And Ivy Lee was successful in basically production and keeping his company, exceedingly viable. Charles Schwab had around his time, he was successful too, but he wanted to be more successful. He wanted to get more output, more production. And so Charles sent for Ivy and asked Ivy to help him in the pursuit of this. So Ivy Lee told Charles Schwab to write down the 6 most important things that you need to do tomorrow, and write them down, number them from 1 to whatever, the most important all the way up, and then spend the next day pursuing that one by one. If it takes you all day to do 1, do that. If it takes you all day to do 4, do that. But the goal is to every day be as consistent as possible in doing those 6 most important things that you believe is for you. So Charles Schwab did that. And Ivy Lee did not charge Charles Schwab. He said, if this works for you, send me a check for whatever you think it was worth. And in the early 1900s, Charles Schwab sent Ivy Lee a check for $25,000, which I don't know what the equivalent is today, but it's a lot of money, for what he had taught him how to do. And since I'm going to the gym, I just wanted to say, one of the reasons why I believe people fail at weight loss is because it is not one of the top priorities for your day. It is not. I noticed that when I gain weight throughout certain days, it's because my focus is not on losing. I shouldn't say losing my weight, releasing the weight. I'm sorry, I said weight loss. Releasing the weight, because the mind naturally searches for things that it has lost. If you've ever lost your keys, you will search high and low to get your keys. So when you say, I'm going to lose weight, your mind immediately, this is science, your mind immediately goes into the, I've lost something, so let me recover it and get it back. So in releasing it, in letting it go, like you're taking it to Goodwill, then you know you're not going to get it back. You don't want it back. So what you're trying to do is you got to release the weight. Releasing the weight is not a priority for most people. It's not in their top 3. It's not in their top 4. It's not in their top 5. It's not in their top 6, 10, 15, 20 things to do for the day. It's not. Because if it was, then guess what? There would be changes, subtle, but there would be changes. I believe that if we can make healthy living a #1 priority in our lives daily, and we pursue that daily, we focus on it daily. I understand you got 1 million other things in your life to do, but the other things in your life cannot be fulfilled if you are not the healthiest you can be. If you're sick, how can you be productive at work? If you have a headache because of something you ate, how can you be productive with your family? If you're have diabetes, have blood pressure, and all these other things that come along with being overweight or being obese, how can you be the best you can be? In order for you to be the best you can be in your in daily endeavors, you have to put a valuable price on your life, on your health, and on how you feel. If you don't feel 100%, you can only produce the level that you feel you're at. So if you feel you are 40% feeling good today, you can only produce 40%. But if you feel that you're 150%, you can produce 150% results, which in turn will up your income, up your mental state, up your productivity in your life, up your productivity around your house. It's possible for you to do that. It's possible for me to do that. I have a goal that I want to reach. The main reason I come to the gym, I've got something, I see myself doing it. I swear, I mean, y'all may think I'm crazy, but I see myself doing this. I see myself completing this. I see myself being this. I see it almost every day. The problem is I don't keep my focus on it long enough to get the results as fast as I want. Whose fault is that? It's not yours. It's not my wife's, not my kids. It's mine. It's mine. So my challenge to you, my challenge to anybody else for tomorrow, for the week coming, for the month, the year coming, is to write down the most important things. Attempt to make one of those most important things your physical health, your well-being, your mental health, and focus on it as hard as you can and accomplish it. Anyway, this is your boy. My name is Jimmy Fair. I am Johnny James' grandson. These are my little talks to myself. Deuces.
You go. You go. You go. It's my time. Yeah, it's my time. It's my time. Woo! They see success on the come up, what they do, they try to knock your shine. I can do anything I put my mind to. Oh, you don't like